Hi, this is Ant from Speakerstack Music. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a ambient lead synth, which you can use to kind of create a Blade Runner-y, Vangelis synth sound in your songs. It's in Serum 2, and none of the preset Serum 2 synth sounds have been used. We're kind of delving into the kind of core functionality behind the synth, and this is what it sounds like. So I'm going to give you a quick audition, and then I'm going to give you a blast through, talking to you about what I've actually set in terms of the parameters to create the song. So this is how it sounds. So, what have we got going on? So you can see here, we've got the oscillator section ticked at the top. We have got the subsection armed and set to -1. And we've got a sine shape selected in the subsection here. Moving on to the oscillators. There are obviously 3 that you could use in Serum 2. We've just got one in play here in operation. Oscillator A. Set to wavetable, set to Shrats, which I think is a digital sound. If you go into the digital section of the drop down, then it's down here. Okay, I'll just click away from that. Octave set to 0. Nothing else in this section has been changed from the kind of the default settings that drop in when you arm the wavetable synth. But we do have some stuff going on down here. We've got the wavetable position set to 130. We've got unison set to 8 to give it, to kind of thicken the sound, give it some kind of choral effect, unison sound. But we do have it detuned to 0. And then the blend is set at 41. The A-RAN phase is set to 0 and the A phase is set to 100. Nothing in oscillator B and nothing in oscillator C and nothing in the noise filter either. So then we're going to drop down to the envelope section down here. You can obviously see the pattern that we've set up here, but I'll talk you through the parameters. So in terms of the attack, we've got it set at 727 milliseconds. But to be honest with you, you can just move that around a little bit. It doesn't change the sound too much there. Rolled it on a bit. So you can play around with that bit, get the sound that you're looking for. In the hold section, we've got it set at 774. In the decay section, we've got it set at 863. In the sustain section, we've got it set at -13.9 decibels. So it does drop off quite quickly in terms of that sustained note. And then in the release, we've got it set at 770 milliseconds. And if I click on this, you'll see that we have dragged the envelope filter across to the cutoff. So we've got the cutoff controlled by the envelope filter to give you that kind of warpy, phasey sound. No other envelopes in play and no LFOs in play in terms of controlling the filters up here. So we're going to move up now to filter 1, which is the only filter that's armed. And you'll see that obviously that has got oscillator A highlighted because it's in operation to affect the sound coming from oscillator A. We've got the cutoff set at 28 Hertz. We've got the resonance set at 37%. The drive set at, just hover over that again, 51%. And then the fat set at 47%. Nothing has been changed down here. We've got the polysynth in operation in the voice. So it's time to then move on to the effects. So I'm going to click on the FX section up here and I'm going to talk you through the 5 Well, there's actually 4 effects we have in play. There's one potential additional effect you could add on, which is a taste thing, so I'll talk you through that as well. But in terms of the effects, we have chorus, and that is well up in the mix at 100%. I think most of these parameters are at 50% in terms of the dial, so that's at 1000 hertz. The feedback is at 46%. Okay, the depth here I think is turned up to 26 milliseconds. Don't think there's any delay on it. And on the delay 2 and the delay 1 is set at 5 milliseconds. And the rate is set at 0 hertz. So I don't know if I don't think I changed that. The rest of it I have messed around with a little bit, including the mix, which I've bumped up right in the mix. We've also got a distortion. We've got the rectify parameter in the distortion. We've got a high cut filter in operation here. So we're taking a lot of the high frequencies out, which you can control in this section here. Got the drive set at about 25%, well 16% in terms of the actual amount, but it's kind of about a quarter of the way around on the dial knob. And then in the mix, again 82% in the mix, so quite high in the mix, the distortion. Moving on to the delay, we've got some ping pong delay going on. Again, haven't changed any of this. Feedback is at 50%. And we've got it at 33% in the mix. And again, I haven't changed anything here from what I recall. Then moving down to the equalizer section, and we've got a bit of EQ on it. You'll see that we've got a low cut or high pass filter here, and I think it's at around about 275 hertz where that's kicking in. A little bit of boost of the decibels in this section here, and here we haven't really cut off the high frequency, so I've just got that selected here, so it just kind of just gradually pans out there a little bit. And then, as I said, finally the reverb. Now this isn't armed at the moment, but you could obviously can arm it. It does give you a bit more of a kind of an ambient feel. I'll just give you another blast so you can hear how that sounds. So you could add some reverb to it if you were going to do that. Then we've got the Hall setting in operation here, which I think gives it quite a nice ambient feel. Size is at 67%. Don't think there's any pre-delay on. The decay is at 6.5 seconds. And we've got it at 44% in the mix. That is everything. So that's the synth. If you found that helpful and useful and you've incorporated it into your tracks, it'd be fantastic if you gave the video a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going to post a few more of these, so hopefully see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.